if you're joining us, this is the FAPcast Christmas Special. You're joining me. We're doing a 5-man special here, and I'm thrown off by Chris's antlers. We all have our special festive wear on. I got this from my Aunt Matilda, and
was she waltzing?
She was. This is also coincidentally formerly Uncle Mark. Okay, so this is officially our 10th podcast. So Merry Christmas to everybody on that one. Mm-hmm. That's nice. Yeah, so we should be in for some good stuff. So we're going to change the format of the show a little bit just for this Christmas special. Aside from our lovely fireplace here and many of us wearing green, so we couldn't actually do a green screen, so we've opted for the little fire. It's kind of nice.
It's toasty.
Putting off a little bit of heat there. Probably going to have to strip down here in a little bit, yeah.
May have to, yeah.
Okay.
Just Josh.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the top 10 reasons, or I guess just 10 reasons. We won't claim that they're the top reasons to get excited, but the 10 reasons to get excited about 2013 and beyond. So some stuff hasn't quite happened yet, but we got just a little bit of time left before the new year. So anyway, why don't we I'll go around and introduce everybody for our audio listeners. We have Chris Keene joining us.
Hello.
We have Josh Bushing.
What up?
Myself, and then we have Staughton Wade.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
And then we also have Nate Bushing joining us.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, so we have the whole crew sporting his nice sweater there. Yes. If you are listening to the audio podcast for this, it really is probably at least worth the 2 minutes to go out to YouTube and check us out there and see all of our
We are
our
horrible
awesome
looking.
Yes.
Don't linger too long.
Just stay once, just to know that it's a freak show. Yeah. Move on.
It's a freak show.
Right. So, all right, we're going to have to dive into these because we've got 10, and I know how we are with tangents.
It's math. I mean, everybody loves math.
All right. So I guess our first one, in no particular order, I suppose, we'll make that disclaimer here. There's a lot to get excited about, I think, but phone releases. We saw the iPhone 5S and 5C, as well as on the Android side, we saw the Samsung Galaxy S4. Now, these are pretty exciting phones, considering the 5S is something like 2 times the processing power of its predecessor, and the S4 has more resolution than any of its predecessors. I know that because I like to harp on this, the Oculus Rift actually made their HD version initially by disassembling prototypes of the S4.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that's it's how they got the pixel density they wanted without paying an arm and a leg for it. So
did anybody get new phones this year? Like I did not. I have a phone from last year still.
Early in 2013, I upgraded to the iPhone 5.
Okay.
But not the 5S or the 5C.
Gotcha.
The 5C is a little too chintzy for me. Like, I don't need a plastic phone.
I think at least we've finally determined what the letters afterwards. So it's like 5 second and then 5 crap. Or chintzy, I guess.
Chintzy.
So at least you kind of know what's going on.
Is that how long it lasts in like increment letters?
Or is that the second revision?
Second version.
That's how long the battery lasts.
5 seconds. Oh, look at this. I can have Wi-Fi and
LTE
Bluetooth.
is great. Oh, I'm out of battery.
It's like Ode to Joy plays as you turn it on and then it just. Oh.
Oh, it must be from the store charge. Let me just get a full charge in here.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and GPS and LTE. Oh, my God.
Does anybody care about phone iterations until we get better batteries? I mean, that's
I was just about to say that I really don't think the phone stuff was really all that exciting until there's an iPhone 6 or until there's something impressive on the Android end. This is all just slightly better versions of the same thing. We need a generational leap here.
I agree. And the other thing I'll say is that possibly with the S4 and the 5S, they might be something to get excited about if you start getting into gaming on your phone. with the increased processing power and with we did that episode that had the game case. If you start getting into that, you're going to want more processing power. So I'm glad that they're at least still pushing the envelope there. And maybe in 2014 there will be a time where we say, the iPhone 5S is looking pretty good now, or the Samsung S4 is looking pretty good now because the increased.
The only other interesting
horsepower.
thing I can think would be with I did watch the stupid Edward Norton Droid commercial. If the battery life is legitimately better battery, that might be a good thing. If it's just the Droid doing a better job of battery management.
I can't take you seriously when you're jiggling.
Every time he shakes his head, you're like, yeah.
He's like, I just can't.
If it's just better battery management, then it's the same shitty battery. But if it's actually better battery, that may be something nice going forward to look forward to is better batteries.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think what the Droid moniker does this whole thing with batteries is that they're just going to cram the biggest battery possible, and then they just try to flatten it, but just cram it into this giant case. But then that's why they keep going with bigger screen sizes, so that they can, throw in a bigger battery.
So you could pretty much have a giant tablet.
Yeah, I'm starting to notice this phablet phone device. Like 2-day battery. Yeah, I'm carrying like 7 pounds here.
I heard a quote, doesn't matter where it was from, but it's earlier this year that Apple has become a fashion company.
Yeah.
And I think the iPhone 5C kind of proved that because they're now making things to sell for cheaper based on the way they look rather than actually advancing technology. And yeah, they may have different options in the advancing technology, but the 5S was like a jump and the 5C was like we'd like to sell more phones. They weren't really. They don't really seem as interested as they were when Jobs was at the helm of always being at the cutting edge.
Yeah, I mean, totally agree with that. That I see the business sense though, right? Because what they used to do was sell the iPhone 4 next to the iPhone 5, and then they would cut it off at a certain point and not sell the iPhone, the previous iPhone anymore. But when they realized that, hey, there is still market for this stuff, people are buying refurbished iPhones and just using those, hey, there is a market there for something sub our top of the line. So, I don't know, I capitalized on it. Yeah, I think so. And Motorola does the same thing. Motorola has some lower end phones as well that they sell that aren't the...
They don't hold up as well. Like, for my opinion, iOS devices can show... They might not necessarily get all of the access to the features for the latest version of, like, say, iOS 7 or whatever, but they tend to hold up better than like a 2-year-old Android device that's been dropped way too many times, and you're just like, why won't it load?
Apple's always been about lifestyle.
Yeah, that's true.
Market. This is the first time I think I've ever heard positive Apple feedback from the table here, as opposed to Droid rules all. Screw your goddamn piece of fruit.
They all sort of do the same thing, though, right? This is sort of like a PS4 versus Xbox One argument as well.
What you're telling me is that Xbox rules, PlayStation sucks dick.
Well, that one is clear, but the iPhone and Android it's not quite.
It's the opposite of that. Okay, it makes sense.
Right. Okay. So we'll move on from that to
Chris,
our.
stop stirring the fire there. You stop stirring the fire.
It's good.
Oh, okay.
Right. Get some more logs on there.
All right.
It needs another log. I'm working on one.
Whoa.
I thought that was my job.
No.
All right, so the other thing we had to be excited about was TV shows. We had some pretty incredible TV shows either wrap up or a next fantastic season or whatever. We won't get into spoilers, really, just talking about these shows. Maybe we can get into some spoilers. I don't know. Well, but you look at Game of Thrones season 3. That was fantastic. I know.
Oh my god!
Yes.
So good.
Everybody at the table has a Game of Thrones boner, except for Chris.
So I've not seen any of it.
Call it a goner.
Geek
I'm-
Confession hasn't seen any of it.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay.
That is a kind of a gaping hole in your geek vocabulary.
No,
He does have a gaping hole.
He's left that one out
Is it
there.
filled with
for
bells?
a hit.
Okay.
All right. Well, maybe you can make it up because maybe you saw the Spartacus series finale season.
No.
no.
What else?
Maybe you saw the Breaking Bad series finale
I have not seen
season.
any Breaking Bad.
Maybe you saw the latest season of Walking Dead.
No. No, I have not seen anything past the
Everyone,
middle of
I speak
season
on behalf of all our viewers and the What the Fuck Review fans. and we love the WTF reviews. We absolutely love them.
Yep.
Time for you to watch some real television.
Stop punishing
Maybe that's
yourself.
why. Maybe that's why it is. He's watching too many.
That's what it is. It's,
Too many
Well,
horrible
it is. No,
movies.
there's not enough time to absorb all media out there. So
Yeah.
Ryan just kind of went through the list of things, and if you haven't watched at least 2 or 3 of them, you are missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed out on some stuff this year.
Yeah, I mean they're in my Netflix queue, so which means I'll get to them eventually.
Maybe.
Right?
7 years from now.
7 or 8 years.
My God, it's going to be a while. But yeah, we
I
had
blame
some
the kids.
we had some fantastic television, really, that really grips at you. And if you haven't seen any of Spartacus, that is something, if you liked 300, you're pretty much going to like Spartacus. So
It was a unique television experience.
it really was.
Nothing else is quite out there like it at all.
No.
And it wasn't like some shows.
Ryan's mom, do not watch. if you're a mother and you're not a millennial, don't watch.
It is
Say it.
TVMA, and it earns every single bit of that.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, they really need a TV beyond TV.
I was gonna say it's more like NC-17 at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it pushes boundaries, but it's very stylized. It's very fun. They own it in a way that no other TV show tends to own what it is that they are.
Yep.
Yeah.
All transparency.
And Breaking Bad, I mean, for people that are into binge watching, Breaking Bad is like a life ruiner.
It's like wake up in a diaper on the weekend, just what happened to me?
Well,
And
because
be totally okay with it,
Yeah,
too. You're just
yeah.
like, oh, that was awesome. How long to the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, there's shows that have like filler episodes or like they're sort of rebuilding episodes so you can sort of catch your breath. Breaking Bad in at least its last season was kind of like bang 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 bang.
I don't
you
think
know?
it had a single filler.
No, it really didn't. It was all.
It felt like 24, no fillers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
The
You're
first
just-
season of Breaking Bad, I would say that there were a couple episodes that they could have made about half as long.
Maybe.
But
I don't know. It's been
but
a while
maybe
since
the-
I've seen the first one.
maybe that's all character development and whatnot. But the last season was just like so much stuff happening. It was like you could tell they had written more than what they showed and were sort of cramming it into the episodes they had. Also, that brings us full circle back to Chris's gaping hole.
Yeah.
It's a black hole over there.
I'm working on a second log for Ryan.
Dry dock in his toilet later.
Extra peanutty.
It's gonna go in my pillow.
Say
Damn
dry
it.
dock in the toilet.
Yeah, he's gonna be dry docking Ryan's toilet.
Right. So, were there any other TV shows that I didn't mention that you guys were like, "Holy cow, you should go see this"?
Dexter finished up, but I don't know that I liked the season finale. But if you haven't seen the show, there is like 7. How many seasons?
I think
Seven
7 or 8
seasons. 7 seasons of awesome to go
Yes.
watch. I mean, it is a really good show.
And the last season is good. Or is more of your complaint more about the ending?
Yeah, I just wasn't as big a fan. I wanted it to go darker than they did at the ending. Actually,
Yeah,
believe it
agreed.
or not.
For a show that was sort of
Dark already.
Right,
Yeah, I
yeah.
wanted it to be darker.
because you had to. Good Lord,
They're calling
they're calling.
the FBI,
Right.
NSA,
They said we heard you talking about.
CVS, pharmacy.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted it to be darker. I don't know.
Jesus, was that possible to be any?
Hold on, I had one too, so I figured I might as well get it all right there.
Okay.
Good radio. Lots of coughs.
That's a cough.
That's really all I just wanted to be without spoiling it. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't really go into further.
The only
details.
TV series I actually managed to watch was Under the Dome, and it sucked balls. So
They had a
Don't
major
bother with that
problem with that show was that it was supposed to be miniseries, and at some point they were like, "Hey, people like watching this.
we should totally make a second
Yeah, we
season.
should. Yes, we should make multiple seasons." But that ruins it because the whole storyline is building, and they're going to end.
Yeah.
And basically now I don't know what they changed exactly. I mean, I know what happens in the book Under the Dome,
Right.
which it doesn't really follow it too close. But it was actually kind of a fun show because it was at a time of year when there wasn't a whole lot of other stuff on.
Yeah.
And it was going to end. And now once we found out it was going to end, it was like, God damn it. I don't like these people enough to watch them over and over and over.
It was good for a single season when you're like, okay, well, there's an end point that's great. Now it's like, what the hell?
We need more television like that. But this was a great year
not.
for TV. Like TV
Yeah.
right now, we're in like a kind of almost a
golden
I
age.
want
Yeah.
to say golden age, but it's almost a rebirth of what
know,
television can be.
That's another good point. The Netflix original series,
They're
House
starting
of
to
Cards.
get
So
really
Cards.
good.
There was
House
Orange
of
is
Cards,
the New
Orange
Black,
is the New Black is
apparently, yeah.
hilarious.
Hemlock Grove was actually
It's pretty good.
not too bad.
It's not too bad.
I've heard
It's-
good things. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
liked
it's actually
it.
pretty good.
I watched it.
I think that was
recently.
this year.
I think it's a good
Yeah, it
sign
was.
though for like the future of television is to keep getting more and more shows like maybe online, unlock the entire freaking.
I'm
Xbox
glad to
TV.
see how much content is being created without any network approval whatsoever.
Yes.
Did anybody watch
This is such a
the Arrested Development season on Netflix?
No.
No.
No, I haven't watched that. I know it was a pretty good show, but I never got around to watching the Netflix season.
What I find interesting about it is that cable subscriptions are like, just plummeting.
Kind of falling off a cliff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right,
Tanking
and yet we're
hardcore.
seeing still really good shows out there.
And growth.
Right. So hopefully that stays with it, and we transition to
That's
sort of
the market.
IP.
Like the market's demanding the fact that people don't want to watch, when the network says they want to watch it. They want to watch it when they have time to watch it. That their
On
lives are
demand.
busy. Yeah.
Right.
And then hey, if you can release the entire season that's decent, well written, put together, and then doesn't trail off like a writer's nightmare, Linda Love. But like you can get that, you can have that experience, or if you want to watch one a night for the next 20 days, whatever, you can. You have that option.
Right.
Not being tied to the network is a good thing.
Yeah. So that sort of brings us to our next thing: cool gadgets that came out in 2013. So Chromecast came out.
Yeah.
Samsung Gear, which is sort of a more advanced version of your watch that you had, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like that, but it's sort of refined, higher
from that
resolution.
old
You can do
school
more things
Sony,
with it.
Yeah, Live View or whatever I had a couple years ago.
I read an article, maybe it was even on Wired, but it was like wearable technology is like the next big thing.
Yeah, it is.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it yet. It's not at the point where I think it looks good enough. They're like I think it's Lens Crafters or some Lounge Optical has paired with Google Glass. They'll actually hook the Google glasses up to your glasses
For subscription. There's a Fort Wayne company that actually
That's
is
what I was
doing. Yeah.
So now everybody knows where we are, Nate. Thanks.
Ah.
Oh.
We'll have to know.
So, but the point being is that it's not there yet enough that people are
They
going
can
to
Google
walk
your
around.
name. Welcome to the 20th century.
Shh, nobody knows our names.
Wait, there's a whole intro piece that it already showed.
What?
What?
Okay, so the other things
Brian McDowell, Aunt Matilda sweater.
Google.
Seeing the hashtag.
Hashtag
Aunt
Aunt Matilda.
Form a mark.
But the point being, do you think that the square little miniature screen is
so this
cool
is
looking enough that you want to wear it around?
Okay, so this is a series, or this show is about things to get excited about. What you're doing is basically taking a huge dump on this cool gadget thing we had going. Okay, I will agree to an extent that some things, like Google Glass and even Oculus and Samsung Gear, need time.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean I can't be excited about it. Right? Because it's on the horizon. It's coming here.
I think you could be
Staughton
excited
is not
about.
excited
I think you
about
could be
it.
excited about Oculus Rift because it is taking a leap in immersion forward. There's no question about that. You're never going to get me on the watch thing.
Yeah.
But I think Oculus Rift, yes, that is a new level that apparently they might have fixed VR visually. There's still more to go from a physical standpoint, but visually they might have actually found or cracked the code
The Holy Grail here.
a little bit. We'll see. But at we've made a big leap. It sounds like.
Yeah, I think the issue with the wearable tech stuff is it's still a little too small in certain instances to be really fully functional. Like the watch might be nice if all you really rely on it for is, incoming call notifications, mail to a certain extent, messages, anything beyond that, and
that's kind
it's
of what
too
I was
small.
I was using it for.
I'll make this
Chris,
attestation.
this is supposed to be stuff you're excited about, Chris.
I'm excited about
Come on,
the wearable
Chris.
tech, but it's got room for improvement.
Okay, so here's what I think we'll see happen with this. I think we'll see people realize that they're not going to read their email on their watch, right? But I have the foresight to see that what's going to happen is the voice recognition side of that will get better. We've got Connect, that some of its features are going to be voice stuff.
Yeah,
so
Connect was
send,
huge this year.
Send email to so-and-so, send email to Staughton, go screw yourself. Hey, this is also on the podcast right now.
Do you have to talk,
Whatever.
Do you have to talk to the watch that close?
Yeah, this close. The microphone is very small. Microphone tech hasn't increased. No.
Like battery tech, it hasn't caught up yet.
Right.
We'll get it eventually.
No, I think a lot of it is going to come from either like a Siri-like device or you know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be iOS, but I'm saying sort of an assistant that helps you out there with either dictating messages or dictating back to you.
I haven't gotten my TrueSmart yet. The thing that I backed, that watch, that's basically just a cell phone inside the watch. And I haven't gotten it yet, but there's a bunch of people that have said that they've really enjoyed the keyboard and the text there. It's going to be cool. Obviously, we'll have some sort of review, I imagine, once I get it. So.
Yeah. I was going to say, is anybody really excited about it until we get like holographic PDA screens or wear wrist bracelets a la Futurama?
I don't know
or something
that I would
like
do
that,
that,
you know?
I'm all for Power Glove.
Yeah.
Wearable tech. Power Glove.
Power glove.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know that I would do that.
No?
It has to at least quasi-blend. And what I think is going to sell is when the watch looks like a watch. And you can do...
But functions like...
But you can do other
It
stuff
has to
with
become more attractive.
Looks like
Yeah.
a pump, feels like a sneaker.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Did Aunt Matilda...
Yes.
I think there's been a
1990s
lot
throwback
of
there.
cool things that like tablets have gotten dirt cheap. You don't need to buy an iPad. You could buy. I think I've seen $50 tablets. Now, granted, I'm sure they're terrible.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Don't buy a $50.
no. But at the same time, the fact that they're even able to make one for sale means that other tablets are just going to come down so much in price.
And
we're
that
actually
doesn't
going
work great.
to we're actually going to see people being able to just carry a tablet around that does basically all their like. How mind blowing was it when we took a computer and basically put it into your phone? Well, now we're going to take your entire home PC and put it into a pad. It's going to be impressive.
Yeah. And on that note, iPad Air... Like
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
1 pound.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
that is lighter
impressive.
than the log Chris is working on for you.
It's at least 5 Keurigs.
It is a Yule log.
That's gonna keep the fire burning. For
Yeah.
Filled
And
with
just
pay no-
Christmas joy.
It smells like Christmas joy, too. What did you eat? Cookies?
Fruitcake.
Cookies.
Fruitcake. Jesus. This thing might be radioactive. All right.
Mincemeat pie.
All right. So the
Beef
next
gravy.
one we've got is video games. We had a ton of really good video games.
Yes.
Now, I don't think we can claim that this is the best year on record for video games because it would be really hard to beat. What was it? 2007.
Yes.
I don't know
Bioshock,
though,
Mass
because like
Effect,
some of these games were like the best of the last gen console.
GTA 5, if you're into the GTA games at all, was pinnacle of that type of game. Massive, virtually glitch-free when I got my hands on it. I had one glitch in that entire game.
Wow.
And I played it for 100+ hours.
That's what happens when you cook a game for 5 years. It
when
it
you
comes out
design
really
it
good.
extremely well, exactly.
That's
So,
kind of what happens now.
Yeah, and then this goes back into the previous topic, but what the next-gen consoles, especially the Kinect functionality, is trying to accomplish, the built-in DVR, built-in streaming, it's exciting, like what people are going to be able to do with that and what you can already accomplish.
Sort of changes your video game experience.
The fact that I can now share my video game experience more readily is an appreciated feature.
Yeah.
There's no longer you had to be there moments. It's a here's the moment as it happened.
Right.
I still think that falls into the feature you didn't know you wanted.
I think
Until
you're
it's
right.
there, and you're like, this is awesome. Now
Yeah, I don't think anybody realized how much you actually wanted a DVR until something cool happens and you're like, Xbox, record that.
Right.
Yes.
And actually, people that were listening to this on their Xbox right now just had their Xbox.
Record it.
Yeah.
Now, actually, I have a question for you. This is totally off topic, but is that a problem for you? Has that happened yet? Where somebody saying it has happened to you?
No, because I use headphones.
Okay.
So the Kinect doesn't hear what my headphones, project
Yeah.
to me.
Until
The Kinect
until the wife gets mad at you, wants my Xbox shut off. I think
Actually, that would work if she walked into the room and said, "Xbox, turn off."
You just turned off everybody.
Yes. Then it goes through the prompts and will actually shut off.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah. So
man.
she's
That
like,
could be
it's
some
time
fights.
for bed.
That could
You
be
know.
some fights.
She doesn't sound like that at all. She's like, time to come to bed, honey. She doesn't sound angry.
Luckily, she doesn't.
Sure.
She doesn't watch.
She
this.
will when she watches this.
She doesn't watch this. It's okay. Right?
Okay.
Xbox
Ryan's safe.
self-destruct.
Yes. Okay.
You have 4 seconds to comply.
Some other good ones, though.
Minimum safe distance.
Assassin's Creed 4. I know only a couple of us have played it, but holy crap.
Yes.
It is really, really good.
Yeah, for the awesome ship battle mini games that came out of 3 to successfully put a whole game around that particular game feature was good. It was an awesome game.
One thing that really hasn't meant anything in any of the past Assassin's Creeds, music. Music is something that I actually recognize while I'm in this now, that, wow, this is actually pretty good music. And I'm not even talking about the pirate
shanties or whatever,
Right.
yeah.
The sea shanties are really, seriously, they're good.
Awesome.
Yeah,
They're
like
really good.
you come to recognize them, and there'll be ones that you like and ones you don't like, and you're like, stop singing that, switch to something else. And it's like, yes. Very nice.
Right. I actually wish that there was a way that instead of like making a playlist, you could sort of insult your people or your crew or whatever, and be like, if you sing that song again, I'm going to cut your throat.
Skyrim kind of had that.
Yeah.
Skyrim, when you
Yeah,
walk up
that's
to the
true.
bar and do you have a request? Yeah, I'd like you to stop singing. That was the greatest.
Well, you can tell them to stop singing entirely,
Yeah.
but you can't say, don't ever sing Johnny,
Yeah.
Johnny
Nobody wants to
Hanging Down
hear.
Below.
Nobody wants to hear
Yeah.
Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean again.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's really good. The gameplay is good. It's better than I thought it would be. Like when I thought, okay, ship battles, yeah, it was really fun in Assassin's Creed 3, but I wasn't attached to the character, so I didn't see. For somebody that normally sees a lot of, or at least I try and look at, well, this could be really good because it could do this. I kind of thought this was going to be a flop, and it really wasn't.
No.
This is, I would
No, they did a
say that
really
this
good
is
job.
possibly better than one of the Assassin's Creed 2s, which is saying something. I think it's difficult to beat that Ezio era, but it is hands down better than Assassin's Creed 3, and in my opinion, just based on features and whatnot, I think it's better than Assassin's Creed 1, and might even be more engaging than say maybe Brotherhood. So,
Interesting.
yeah, it was really
Also,
good.
this year, BioShock Infinite, which I played, wasn't the biggest fan of, but I mean, it was a big game.
Yeah.
Last of Us,
Really good.
which
Yep.
was kind of universally adored.
Yes. That was a fantastic game.
Gran Turismo 6, Forza 5.
Yep.
Let's see here. We got some other ones. Battlefield 4, Last of Us.
Let's just
I would-
just say Battlefield 4 isn't really officially coming out until next year.
Yeah,
When they
it is
patch
not
it.
done
True
cooking
When they
yet.
patch it.
True
man.
enough, that game is sort of wrought with problems at the moment. Across all platforms, PC, PS4.
That's
This what
scary.
happens when you throw it in an easy bake oven? Is that
They're
It's
dragging
when,
it.
when you rush it to coincide with a release of a console. That I think you
Gotta
get
wait
that.
until-
And they're dragging that darling franchise through the mud right now. Unfortunately, I mean that's EA's big franchise.
Yeah, it's fixable though. It's
Yeah,
fixable.
it really is.
It is.
They patch it to the point where it's playable, and then Battlefield 5 comes out, and it's an entirely, truly next gen game experience.
For us, it's fixable, but to the general population, how does that compare? They could just go to Call of Duty at this point.
No, this is an Xbox versus PlayStation,
First-
Battlefield versus COD. These are like ingrained
Yeah.
like opinions
Or
that you don't
versus
change.
Yeah.
Like, let's face it, like there are like things that PlayStation have done with their online that are terrible, but you'll never hear a PlayStation fanboy bash
Yeah.
the PlayStation's online
true.
network.
That's true.
You won't ever hear it. And Battlefield's kind of the same way. You like Battlefield because of the experience it brings. Like, you will apologize for them. You'll be sad that they've screwed up their release of this game. But when Battlefield 5 comes out, you will hope like crazy that they get it right.
Okay, so they're clearly different games for different people that like different experiences. And to me, I'm a Battlefield 4 kind of guy. I'm not big on Call of Duty specifically because of the vehicles. So I like having vehicles in my game, and I like air, I like tanks, I like infantry. You know what I mean? I like having the different options available to me, and Call of Duty doesn't give me that.
Nope.
You know,
That's true.
So
It gives you fantastic AI fish, though.
it does. They swim away.
Swim.
They're like, oh god.
Yeah, it's an advancement that no one saw coming.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like the
feature
just
you
like the
didn't know
rock
you wanted.
textures.
The feature you didn't know you
You
wanted.
didn't know you
Fish
wanted
you
the
didn't
rock
want.
textures.
Yeah. God, stupid fish! Why would you get them away?
There's like, I remember, Operation Metro and Battlefield 3, like, I was kind of hated on that because it was a COD experience.
It is.
You throw everybody
Very-
in a giant
very linear.
line and just gun each other down. I mean,
Yeah.
that's Call of Duty.
But yet,
That staircase was terrible. Just
Yes.
walk up, and if they had B, you're done.
Yeah.
Dunsies.
yeah.
11sies.
All right. So we also had some really good movies that came out this year.
Gotta poke the fire.
Poke the fire, get some action going there, stir the coals.
Stir it up.
Pretty sure Sackboy's the one that's getting the action.
Oh man.
Miranda Lawson giving it up to Sackboy here,
Yeah.
right by the fire. He's seizing that opportunity.
Yeah.
All right. So great movies. We had Star Trek Into Darkness. We had Pacific Rim.
You mean the Wrath of Khan?
You mean the Wrath of Benedict Cumberbatch?
It was a good movie though.
Was it? I did not see it.
Cumberbatch.
What? Cumberbatch? Did I say Cumberbatch?
I
Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch. I don't know who that is.
It's a cummerbund.
Benedict Cumberbuns.
I have to take issue with your use of the word great, but I will save that for my dishonorable mention.
Oh.
All right. Well, scientifically, I'll agree that yes, some weird stuff happens in that movie, but it's still a good
I mean
movie.
2013 across the board. But again, I'll save it. You already
Oh.
gave me shit for my bashing of
right.
gadgetry.
Okay.
Did you like the
Wearable
Wolverine?
tank.
Did you like the Wolverine?
Wolverine was a good movie.
There you go.
Okay. Did you didn't see Gravity? Did you?
No, but I understand it's a good
I
movie.
did.
It's a good movie.
Okay.
Gravity was awesome.
Iron Man 3.
From what I've heard, Iron Man 3 was okay.
It was okay.
I heard it fulfilled on its. I heard it was a hell of a lot better than Riddick.
Hey,
It had,
Also, I
it had
love
buddy
you.
cop
whoa,
duo tendencies.
Save it, Ryan, save it.
Dishonorable mentions.
All right. The second installment of The Hobbit. Did you enjoy that?
Until my bladder was about to revolt. I'm like, oh, pour the gold on the dragon already.
Yes.
Jesus, Bilbo, go! Get there! I gotta pay.
Get to the damn mountain.
You just needed to block your colon with more popcorn. That's what, that's what needed to happen.
And cheese.
Yes, and cheese.
Cheesy popcorn.
Man.
All right. So there's some other movies I'm
Pacific
leaving out?
Rim was really good.
No, I said that one.
Oh,
Pacific
you did
Rim.
say- yeah.
I'm hoping to get out and see American Hustle in the not too distant future here.
Yes. When does it? The 20th?
It's out right now, yeah.
It just came out. I do want to see that. I've heard good things.
What was the what's the one that's coming out on Christmas?
47 Ronin,
Oh yes.
Yes.
That's gonna be a good one.
we hope.
Hopefully.
We hope there is. It looks really good, but then again, it's got Keanu Reeves in it.
Oh, apparently, this
We'll
is
keep
his
the woes
return to
going on.
action. A lot of reviewers are giving him positive marks on it. Positive marks.
I know I speak for everybody here when I say Riddick.
Yes.
It was a cheesy, goofy action movie, and you're trolling Ryan, but it was still pretty good. I enjoyed it. I mean, for what it was, we knew when you go in knowing that it's going to be Vin Diesel's like action cheesy sci-fi movie.
Fast and Furious 6 came out this year, which I have not had a chance to see yet, unfortunately, but it was pretty loved by people that saw it.
Yeah, I have not seen that one either yet, which is surprising because I'm like kind of a big car guy, but haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, that F1 boner.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's see what else. Were there any others that we can think of? Any other movies? There is another one coming out on Christmas that I'm not as excited to see as 47 Ronin, but The Secret Life of Walter.
Whoa, you're excited to see that?
Mitty?
I kind of want to see it.
That sweater works for you.
Aunt Matilda, highly recommended.
Aunt Mark Matilda.
I can't. There's something about that where I'm just like, this is not going to be good. I mean, I don't want to prejudge it, but it's not going to be good.
Well, it's not going to be Die Hard, clearly.
Well, I wouldn't expect it to be Die Hard, but I at least expect it to be good.
Okay. That's what I expected of
Riddick.
Riddick.
Die Hard
It doesn't-
come out this year.
Hans, Booby,
I don't know.
you're my knight in shining armor.
And it was like terrible from what I heard.
Okay, don't get excited about the Die Hard that came out this year, but
Oh, there was one that came out this year? Holy crap. Oh.
Live Free or Die Hard, I believe was one that came
No,
out
that
this
was
year.
4.
That's 4.
No, there was Die Hard with a Vent, or Die Harder.
the hell did we
Die Hard with
end
a Vengeance. Live Free or Die Hard. And then there was one that's Die Hard.
Der Herder. It was Der Herder. It was German. Der Herder.
It was overseas, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
More threats of being thrown off the police force.
Probably.
Yeah, but probably.
Right.
More choppers, or cars into choppers and shit.
Okay,
And
save
then,
us, Ryan.
And then I'll say my last one, because I truly believe that this movie came out this year, was when it released to Blu-ray. Prometheus came out.
Oh my god. Just let it die.
Prometheus, you
Just let
should
it
see.
die.
All right. So, yes. All right.
Throw the fire at Ryan.
So we'll move on and we'll say everybody's pretty. One thing to get excited about in 2013 is, of course, the fads that come and go, and what does the Fox say sort of came and it's already sort of gone, and now
Thank God it's gone.
right, and then we're
Yeah.
Harlem Shake was here and then Harlem Shake was gone within a week. So thank God fads come and go. They don't just come and stay.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, I was gonna say it's.
All right,
No.
there you go.
We're all blowhards here. No, it's symptoms of like the one-hit wonder, isn't it? Like it's the same
It's
thing.
true. It just keeps going.
Only it's worse.
Like
The internet
PSY
is worse.
PSY or whatever. Like Psy.
Psy, yeah.
Yeah.
PSY.
PSY.
That's what they call it.
Gangnam Style. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like huge and then gone. And he was on like the Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve thing show. He was like, they had him on there. Like, what is he doing here? He's not even from America. I don't
They
know.
don't have New Year's in
New
other
Year's
parts of the
anywhere
world.
else.
No, but it's Dick Clark. It's in New York. What is
It's
he
those
doing
infinite
there?
calendars that just never roll over to anything.
Is it terrible to be like, it is my pleasure to show
Yes,
you?
that's terrible.
It's horrible.
Whoa.
And we just lost a subscriber.
And he's
Thanks,
like-
Ryan.
I'm pretty sure it's more like,
I'm pretty sure he was not there
Okay.
as he had passed away.
He was-
Rest in peace,
yeah,
Dick Clark.
he's no longer with us.
Yeah.
Was 2013
That was 2012, wasn't it?
My mom just unsubscribed.
I like Dick Clark.
Was 2013 like a stronger meme year, maybe?
I think so.
Like there seemed to did memes become a
Was
little more
Ermagerd
mainstream?
this year or was that last year?
I think that's kind of an old one.
That's
But I mean,
an old
there
one.
are some that kind
I
of
can't remember.
That was
come
an
along for a
old
while.
one.
It's an older
But-
meme, but it checks out.
But honestly, all
they kinda,
humor,
like,
all humor
mainstream.
seems to be based around what occurs on the internet.
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
Right.
There
It
is
is.
no, and even like Jimmy Kimmel did a twerking video.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, where she's twerking
Yeah.
and she catches on fire and then he comes in and puts her out and it was
exactly,
totally fake.
all Jimmy Kimmel's best stuff is kind of like based on things that are occurring on the internet already, or stuff he's going to post on the internet.
Yeah.
So it's sort of meme style, even if it's not
Exactly.
directly
Yes.
memes.
The age of the
Yeah.
comedian gone. You know, have
I
you
don't
lost
think
the
so.
stand-up
No.
comedians?
I don't think so.
No, consider like
They've
resurgence of like
morphed.
Louis C.K. He's gotten huge amounts of fan club because he doesn't prescribe to a certain, like network or whatever. He just releases his stuff. He's like, hey, pay what you want.
Yeah.
What we've had now is the opportunity for people that aren't going to spend their whole lives being funny for a living,
Right.
having an opportunity to be funny
Yeah.
on a podcast.
Yeah.
Take advantage of a moment.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, but
Yeah.
realistically, that's what it is. You don't need to go and become a stand-up comedian and work your butt off and maybe make no money, only hoping to get a job as a writer, an actor, or a stand-up comedian. You can now, if you have a really funny idea, you can literally turn it into a meme and post it on the internet, and it could become famous in like no time. Like somebody with a freaking cat
Yeah.
who is
was
adorably
this
grumpy,
cat.
adorably grumpy,
Yeah.
is probably making millions because they happen to have this
Yeah,
cat.
and it's on shirts, it's on cups, it's on pretty much anything.
It's on
you
my
can buy.
face.
Are the
Yes.
the grumpy cat? No,
It is.
you think they're really making millions off that? Though?
No doubt. They've got to deal with
yes.
Friskies.
Oh, okay.
To promote,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, Grumpy
they-
Cat specifically is
Okay.
is
Yes.
definitely
not
bringing
just
in a
like.
bankroll.
I mean, the internet is for cats and porn,
Yeah.
but
Wait, can we just
Like Egypt.
yes,
For
exactly,
cats and
yes,
porn.
yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
right.
I think some of it is you see a meme and it says exactly what everyone thinks when something like that happens, And it gives you like you said, it makes you a comedian. It gives you the opportunity to use it.
Within-
like when somebody does something stupid and you bust out the Zoidberg, this is bad and you should feel bad.
It was like, no, but that was how I felt. Like, I think in memes now, when Duck Dynasty came out just earlier this week, I heard about it. An hour after I heard about it, like the story broke, I had the brace yourselves, Duck Dynasty boycotts are coming.
Right.
I'm like,
you were like ready to go.
I'm like, boom, like there it is. I mean, that's just the way things work now. Is like that kind of humor. Like you said, your meme's bad, you should feel bad.
The barrier to entry has been reduced. That's what it is,
virtually
right?
eliminated.
Now what
Like
it is?
if you have a Twitter account
Boom.
in 140 characters, you can be the funniest person on the planet.
Yep.
Yeah, no doubt. So yeah, thank God for that stuff.
Excuse me.
Need to adjust your
Need to
antlers.
adjust my antlers.
Yes.
Give us a shake.
All right.
All bad.
So we sort of touched on it, but I think it deserves a little bit more talking. 2013 was the dawn of the next gen of console gaming.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
you mean the Wii U wasn't next gen?
Speaking of memes, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
yeah, so I think we're going to look back at this, and maybe it's going to take a year, 2 years, or maybe even 3 years for the mass public to really feel like, holy cow, this is where it started.
Yeah.
But it's kind of exciting not knowing what's coming, but knowing that these features are here, and that now with one thing that is exciting to me is that even if games are ridiculously broken, even if they were that way, they can now fix them entirely. Because before, the game engine and all the features and whatnot was stored on the disk. It had to run the engine live, right?
Yep.
Versus now they're all installed, right? And previously they could only add content and do like these little patches that were limited to a certain size. Not Battlefield 3, apparently, because the patches.
You know what's funny is I still haven't updated.
let me put on my hipster elite PC glasses. We've been doing this for years.
PC Master Race.
PC Master Race.
Right.
No, so we were talking about this before, and I said something, and maybe just tying it back to that is, do you think that that's going to be a problem, though?
That they'll release something knowing that they can fix it later?
Correct.
They do it now.
It's already been happening.
Just, Xbox One had to be patched day one.
Yeah, so did PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to do it. I mean,
You just hold them accountable, but we can't.
it's the old days.
That's not happening
what I'm
in PC,
hoping-
though.
Huh?
That happens in PC games as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not going to diss that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there was a game on Steam that they actually had to pull because it was so bad.
I believe it.
War Z.
Yeah.
Was it?
There was a rip-off of Walking Dead and Daisy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, really?
What I'm
It's so bad that they
hoping
pulled it.
the lesson of this year's console generation will be is don't release this close to the holidays, because what's inevitably going to happen is you're going to push your console and your developers to a drop dead date of Black Friday, and they'll have to have everything done and out by then, and it leaves no margin for error. And if they had released in, say, September or October,
Or August, even.
they would have had plenty of time.
You'd have had 3 shipping waves, really, before...
Yes,
good
or
point.
quite frankly, just simply the opportunity to say, "Hey, we need an extra month."
Yeah.
But you can't have a release date a week before, 2 weeks before Black Friday, and say we really need an extra month to make sure we get the stock built up. And
November release on hardware is kind of dumb.
It's horrible.
It's
very
it's
bad
terrible.
idea. Yeah.
Yep.
And this is what I'm thinking is they could have released, if they had released in, say, March, they could have had the whole year, and then they could have
to build hype and build
have a price
they fixed
drop at Black
everything, and it's
Friday,
awesome.
and you have games coming out.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
next year, Black Friday, kind of the games probably will be amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Ooh, didn't 360 come out in 06?
05.
5.
05.
05,
Yeah,
okay.
'cause
then
PS3
And
came
it
out.
was like
okay, so
July or
360
something.
came out in 05, PlayStation 3 came out in 06.
Yep.
Yep.
Best year for that console generation, 07.
Yeah.
So
True.
maybe
Couple
yes,
years.
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful.
This is the games caught to that point.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe some people wait, see how the console's doing. If it does well, then they'll
See, this is
develop.
what this is a thing that I hate to be about you PC guys. Nobody's building AAA titles exclusively for PC.
Right.
So
No, yeah, you're right.
So now that we're closer,
MMOs about the only ones.
yeah. So now that we're closer, though, technologically to PCs, we should start seeing some amazing games.
Yup. We're going
believe
to take
that.
advantage of that technology
believe
leap,
that.
which is awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, because these aren't it. The games that are out right now, they are technically can be played, but they're not next gen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, certainly some stuff to get excited about there. Space advancements. So no, we're not sending shuttles anymore, but Falcon 9, right?
It just occurred to me, this is the year the shuttle died.
Oh,
Now, wait a
man.
minute. But this is the trade over to using private, right? This is SpaceX launched their Falcon
Yeah, they
9
had a
rocket.
successful rocket launch. That's impressive.
And the Mars rover, although it landed last year, right? This year, they're
Made some-
pretty sure that they
They drew a penis.
It's all about drawing things on face of Mars.
Right.
Like,
No, they just like a week or
ago.
two,
Yeah.
a week or two ago,
Announced
they think that they found water.
Yeah, either running water or proof of running water below
Oh,
the
so
surface.
cool.
I think is most significant to me is that the Chinese landed a drone
On the moon.
whatever on the moon.
Right.
Maybe this will reignite the space race a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Well, they did that, and then India launched their first
Mars-
satellite? Or
Mars orbiter.
Mars orbiter, yeah.
Wow.
And
So-
Korea, the South Korean government, South Korean government launched their first space only satellite. So that's different to the commercial side of South Korea, which has been launching satellites for communication stuff, left and right. But this is actually South Korea's space agency launching
Gotcha.
a satellite.
Interesting.
So it's cool to see a lot of people getting in here. European Space Agency is getting ready to do some fantastic stuff here in the near future as well. So hopefully,
Hopefully we'll kick in some space race stuff, and we'll see some more exciting stuff out of either NASA or, like you said, the private SpaceX and companies like that push for a little stronger U.S. presence in space.
right.
5
we
years
own
from
it.
now, we're at war over space.
Yeah, probably.
5?
Maybe not even that long. Yeah.
no.
There's a reason that we tested 2 or 3 years ago a rocket that could shoot down satellites.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I'm a barrel of positivity.
You are,
So you're
like,
saying-
It's a rough day for you, isn't it?
Christmas?
Christmas
No.
Eve tomorrow as we record this.
War in space, good.
Well, the potential upside here is that space race is, the military advantage is what we needed to really kickstart us to get to the moon. So maybe this is what we need.
Yeah.
No, but in all reality, it's really.
That-
I would love to have a little bit more of a space race, just not necessarily quite as finger on the button space race.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So basically, enjoy the moon, because it's probably not going to be there in about 4 or 5 years.
Nobody needs the tides, anyways. Chris.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah,
there's
no,
going to be a
right.
Bond villain that launches something at it. We didn't mention that, did we? Skyfall?
Skyfall was last year.
Was that last year?
Huh?
it was.
Came out on
December.
Blu-ray this year.
I looked at all the movies that were good last year to compare them to all the movies that weren't good this year. But I'll bring that up later, Ryan.
Okay, so the other thing that went from, like we talked about SpaceX, where it's sort of transitioning to, from government to private. The other thing is drone tech. We're starting to
Yes.
see drone tech do that. I know Amazon sort of posted that spoofy.
Is it a spoof, though?
The serious articles I've read about it, like apparently 60 Minutes is the only
Legit?
They're the ones that
publishing one
bought
that,
into it.
right. They're like
Jeff Bezos.
whoa.
Like, what the hell?
We
It was
just
pretty ridiculous.
explicit in this podcast.
we may have to blur that out.
Photoshop opportunity of a lifetime.
Oh my God, Josh, you are going to be all over the internet.
Oh, okay.
made my own
The
So,
Ram
if
internet.
you are watching or listening to the audio, that is the second reason that you need to come watch the video. About the 47-minute
Yeah, 45,
mark.
47 minutes. You can watch.
Josh did make a guppy fish face and did use both hands.
Josh
did.
filleted an invisible. Well,
Yeah,
you
beta.
can decide what Josh fillets if you've got your own copy of Photoshop.
Oh,
It
man.
was like our old microphone he was filleting.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Amazon. My
But
understanding.
seriously, that's what happened. I mean, come on.
They did. They fell into the trap Amazon wanted right before Cyber Monday.
Yes.
To
Right,
have
the whole Black
their
Friday and
name
everything.
everywhere. They had their name in every major news outlet.
Is that
on-
really what that was about, though?
Well,
you
think
think?
I
Think
think
about
so.
it.
It
Think
was an
about it. Why would they-
advertisement boost. I mean,
Right.
he didn't even have to buy advertising because they bought into it, and then 20 different newspapers took off with it.
Now that being said, I think that they probably have the ability to do this right now.
Yeah,
I think they
sure.
could. I think they
No.
could. Pick,
No, not right now, but
What
years
I
from
mean
now.
is What I mean is right now, if Amazon was less than 10 miles from this house,
Yep.
they could pick up a package and bring it here. No, not they can't. What they mean is they technologically can. It's not at all
No,
commercially
they can't.
viable.
They can't.
Yes, of course they
On
could.
sunny days with zero wind, yes.
But that's my
Yeah.
point. If they absolutely
and with
had
no
to,
airspace regulation.
Yeah.
That's
yes.
my point. There's none of the infrastructure at all.
But there's
or
no-
the,
there's no
there
res-
was not
They'll
commercially
have to
viable.
There's no
But he said in the interview that like 2016 the FAA is supposed to come out with regulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
2015.
supposed to.
Now
They're taking
here's the
forever.
thing:
I
Google
thought it was next
Google
year.
doesn't want commercial drones.
I think they
Oh,
have
wait.
to, though.
Actually, they do, because I have something to say on
Well,
that.
before we get there,
I thought I read Jeff Schmidt say that he thought drones shouldn't be in the hands of just people.
I think he's
Air drones.
afraid.
I think Amazon has to do this, though, and here's why: the growing tax regulations on internet, because Amazon is growing and having Nexus in every state. They're now having to charge tax. So the benefit
Well, they
of
have to
ordering,
next year,
I know, but the benefit of ordering online, which honestly was partly tax evasion. Let's be honest, people aren't reporting that tax paid that they're
Right.
supposed to.
I am.
I reported-
I
am.
did.
Staughton Wade reports all taxable income. No Nate Bushing.
Unpaid online sales tax totally on my.
Perhaps in 2006 to present.
No,
Okay,
but
so go ahead.
let's be honest. That's why they're doing it, is because they want to
want
be
the
able to
tax
provide they want to be able to provide a service that benefits me. So I could go to Best Buy, buy something, and get it day one, and not and have it in my hands and only pay. I'd still have to pay that sales tax. Where Amazon now will be charging tax on those things. So the benefit of ordering it online versus
Now you gotta wait.
Now you got to wait, and you got to pay tax on it. This is the
they're
only
trying
way
to
they're going
push
to be
it
able to
same-day
compete.
delivery.
Yeah, to be able to compete with a retail business.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with that. Honestly, I really cannot, because the size of the drones would have to be like Chinook helicopters.
They can
to
only
really,
carry a pound right now.
right, a
Right.
pound.
Yeah.
I have books that I've ordered from Amazon that were more than a pound.
That log Chris is on.
You know, I was just gonna say.
Quite possibly couldn't fit on
So-
an Amazon drone.
No, wait. Here's the other thing. If I ordered an iPad Air, the device itself is 1 pound. With packing, would be more than a pound. A drone could not deliver that to me, despite
Really?
how light it is. A drone couldn't. And if it's any sort of weather, they got to be way more robust than what they showed in that 60 minutes, which was ridiculous.
This
They
is
showed
this
it-
is one
like
of
a
those
quadcopter,
This,
right?
this is like if you saw the B2 10 years before it was made public, you'd have been like, "This is ridiculous," and then all of a sudden the damn thing's flying around up there.
Yeah.
like we are
We'll
way
see.
ahead of actually putting these things in commercial use, but the
Yeah.
technology is there.
We've got to.
I'd say it'll be 5 years minimum
Well,
before we hear anything about
that
this.
the Navy's using, that they were testing it landing on aircraft carrier. Like,
And I buy that.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, and it's not much
They're already
bigger than
doing
this
that, aren't they?
tank.
They're already
Yeah.
landing Predators, yeah, or whatever the next thing after Predators is.
I know. I don't
Predator
think so.
2s.
Those are like this
Danny
looks like
Glover is the next thing
Huey
after Predator.
something or other. The designator. I don't remember. Like
Your move,
specific.
pussy face.
But see, it is. That's like a B2 looking.
Jeez.
I never thought I would hear a Danny Glover impression.
That was a pretty good Danny Glover
That's
impression.
pretty good. So.
Birds. Damn birds. Damn birds.
Okay. So yeah, I think that we're seeing these things come out now. One thing I want to get to, because we've been harping on this Amazon thing for so long. My impression is that was totally marketing. None of that is happening
It was
right now.
90% marketing. It was based slightly in reality.
Yeah, right. So they've had this little toy that they fly around. They're like, it'd be really good if we could fly this to somebody. But anyway, so Google is saying they came out with something. And no, they're not Black Friday. I mean, they want people to be using Google Shopping, I'm sure. But one thing they came out with was saying that, nope, we think we're going to do drones that can deliver stuff to you, but not by air. They're talking about automated cars with delivery devices that can navigate stairs or doors or whatever to get to your door and drop off packages for you.
And by delivery devices, they mean launcher arms?
I don't know. We just put it at your front steps. I don't know why.
Why didn't you catch it?
Everybody gets chutes installed at the top of their houses. Boom.
So this was in response to him saying that he thought the guy that put this press release out there regarding Google delivery services or whatever was in response to the Amazon one, right? And he said that's total crap. We will not see that inside 5 years. This is exactly the window he gave. He said there's no way. But he said you could see Google automated delivery stuff, maybe not to your house, but maybe for like corporate things where it's one thing being delivered.
Yeah.
And it's high dollar stuff and you need to make sure it gets there on time and very accurate tracking. They're like truck drivers, even on high priority stuff, have trouble doing that. Which is why UPS came out with their their RFID and GPS enabled trailers and whatnot.
Right.
But now Google is talking about autonomous delivery trucks, not 18-wheelers, but autonomous delivery vehicles with specialized delivery payloads, I guess.
How does that work,
I
though?
find Amazon's drones to be sooner than Google replacing delivery drivers.
Yeah, that's
And
scary.
they said it the other way. They said,
Of course they
This-
did.
this
They
looks
were going
like
to be
it's-
like, yeah, here's our idea. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen, but it's our idea.
Yeah,
they're gonna build theirs up. They're going to say, yeah, we think we're close to this.
How many wrecks is it going to take for this to? You know
See,
what
that's
I mean?
the thing.
Like,
Even if they get the
Losses.
technology, even if they get the driving technology down,
Packages into,
houses.
which will eventually we're going to have automated driving. Eventually,
eventually.
Yeah.
they're pretty damn close because automated driving is now...
you still have to get the package off the truck.
You're right, and they're talking about a drone to do that. Some sort of delivery device to do that.
it's the like
Not a quad car.
no, like a robot, like
Some
brings
little
it up
R2 unit that picks it up and
and then disarms the bomb.
They're what
Shuts down the
they
trash compactor.
Yeah,
level.
it kind of looks like that, doesn't it?
A little bit.
yeah,
a
it
little
kind
bit.
of does.
so we'll see what happens. But kind of exciting seeing drone tech.
There's no question we are at the birth of that entire technology.
Exciting times.
Yeah, indeed. So we talked about dawn of a new era of consoles, but we might actually be very, very close. Maybe it's not going to happen in 2013, but 2014 maybe we might see the Steam machines actually hit the shelves. So Steam OS and Steam machines.
Well, it's not going to happen in 2013. Staughton takes a drink.
Daft Punk.
So this could be huge for PCs.
Yeah.
It really could be, because if this is truly a modular PC, and I don't mean in the way that PCs are modular now, like where you can just take cards and put them in. Like if it's hot swappable, I'll say it that way.
Sure.
If the Steam machines are built to a standard, and if there's not 12 of them, if there's like 3 or 4, then I think you're going to see...
Like Xbox hard drive, where it's easy to just pop it out.
But
Like the 360 hard
like
drive.
build
It makes
stuff.
upgrades and customizations accessible to people that aren't comfortable inside a PC.
Right.
So
Or
if you just have to
shouldn't be
pop
in
something
there.
out and pop a new one in, that's a
I
lot
need
easier
to upgrade
than
my graphics card. Boom, boom.
Yeah,
Right,
it's just it's a
right. Or I need
Right.
more memory. Here's this memory block that I pull out and put a new one with more RAM in it.
Right, or a new core, or, I need more storage, or whatever that is.
Right.
That could bring people to PC that have been sort of standoffish at PC. So myself included, honestly. I mean, for the longest time,
Wait, who let the dogs out?
what?
Ryan, you let the dogs out.
I would assume that our viewers or listeners can hear that, but yeah, it does sound a little bit like a Baha Men video upstairs.
Just a little bit.
Right.
Alright.
So anyway, though, standardized PC builds, I think, could do a lot for PC gaming. Here's the thing: I think they could be shooting themselves in the foot, though. Steam OS.
I was about to say the same thing. I was thinking that one of the things that Microsoft and even Sony, to a certain extent, are doing is they're consciously saying this is more than just gaming. This is not just a box for gaming. This is an entertainment center for your home. This is a hub that you will do all things with. SteamOS doesn't seem to really be going that route. Now maybe they'll make it so modular that it'll be like a lot like Android, where everyone will be able to build apps and create things for it. That I don't know, but I doubt that. I don't know. That's why I'm questioning. It's not going to be the box in your living room. And
I don't think it ever wants to be described as that, though.
But then they're
But
halfway between
you
here.
think they're losing that?
They're not customizable enough for the PC Master Race people, and they're not simple enough for the console people. They're not headache free enough. But so here they are. They're in this odd middle ground, and are they gonna find a market for it?
I feel like there's not a market for it, in my opinion. But
They're not doing this, but here's how they could fix a lot of what I will perceive as PC headaches, right? Windows, first, this, in my opinion, you immediately shave off a big chunk of the games market if you say this is essentially Linux, right?
Yeah,
the
it's
SteamOS.
just Linux.
You basically take, okay, here's all the games that can run
they've
on PC and
already
go
done that,
chunk,
yeah.
you know? So what they really need is an option for Steam Machine that, yes, is more expensive because it has to have a Windows license, but if they do that, and then they put sort of a lockdown interface on top of it.
Windows embedded or something.
Yes,
Gotcha.
that does apps for searching the internet, and you can still use a mouse and keyboard and whatever. But it sort of controls you. If you still want to go to porn sites or what, I didn't know why I looked straight at you for that. But if you want to go wherever,
Are we on the GoRam internet?
it does
There's an
connect
app
to
for
the
the
GoRam
GoRam
internet.
There you go.
No. So wait. If you do this though, one thing they can do to resolve some of these headaches is if the OS is reduced, like Windows Embedded is exactly what I was thinking. You reduce the size of the required OS to get that thing up and going with a lockdown interface to a USB drive that is internal to the unit. And then when it gets all, damn, this thing is running slow, boop, and it just flashes it. You know what I mean? Just back to start.
No
you got to
different
reinstall your games or whatever, but your performance is right back. That is one thing now that people will take to the Best Buys or the Fry's or the whatever and have them just do simple tests like back up my data and reinstall. Like if they did this where, okay, yes, it's hot swappable and we've resolved the issue of Windows runs like crap after a year and a half or something like that. Or at least it runs better day one without bloatware. So if they can get that, that will be key and will probably bring me back.
Yeah. Without going into too much detail about that, I don't know. The bloatware stuff that people complain about or talk about that commonly come with store-bought
HPs or
like an HP or a compact which is owned by HP or Asus or
Dell now, really.
Yeah, even Dells will come with crap that they've installed, but I think you can get away from that by just building it yourself. But Windows 7 doesn't get as I don't think it gets as bloaty as everybody talks. Like, we're talking about days like beyond Windows XP where you don't have that same corruption that can happen.
There was a lot
Windows,
of memory problems in the older OSs that aren't around
And that-
anymore.
This
And that's
64-bit stuff
fine.
is
I still
kind of
think-
kicked up and is controlling that memory.
They do it on Xbox too. Can't you wipe your system? Like, can't you just say start fresh or
You
set back
can-
to factory,
Yeah.
reset
you
the
can.
factory
You
settings?
can do that.
Yeah.
if
But
you
what
could
I'm
do that.
saying is you don't focus on how to get rid of malware. You don't focus on how to get rid of viruses if your Steam machine acquires one. You flash it. That's how you solve it.
Oh, yeah,
Every
it's just
time
bam.
you flash
Yeah,
it.
no, that's perfect.
Right. If
Yep.
you do
Yeah.
that.
No,
And I'm not even saying that the,
It's
that the
really good
Windows
system.
8 or
That's-
Windows 7,
And everything is on the cloud now, so you can pretty much get your profile right back. So it's like Staughton is checked
No,
out.
no.
He's
I mean,
checked out.
it's really interesting discussion about it. We need to know more about SteamOS.
Yeah, and the market.
So it came out the 13th.
Yeah, there is a beta.
And,
There's a beta,
and
right?
There's a beta out, and I was gonna go mess with it, and I just haven't.
I don't
time.
believe
But I
anything
have-
about SteamOS until it's
But it's-
actively out there next year. because we're gonna have all the AAA titles and blah blah blah.
I don't know how it's gonna work without Windows
they have to prove themselves
drivers.
first.
And emulators.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You'll need so much more hardware to make that run smoothly.
This is why I said the middle ground. They're not customizable enough for the PC people. They're not headache free enough for the console people. They're in this weird middle ground. Now, hopefully, I hope it works personally.
That's the
Because
best
I'll put
I
it this
see.
way.
Yeah.
I was not excited in 2004 when I picked up Half-Life 2, and I had to connect to the GoRAM internet in order to activate my copy. Like, it had to connect to the internet the first time you played in order to
Steam.
certify that your copy was bought and that you paid for it. And then once you had that, then you were good. You could play in offline mode.
You could download it anywhere too.
Correct. But I was like, that was before broadband got even mo better.
Mo better.
Mo better. But now, because of their Steam sales and all these other things, it's pretty handy. If I don't have to cart around a giant library of games, I just log in to anywhere I want on a computer somewhere else or whatever. Like Aunt Matilda's computer.
I watched the last episode. If the damn NSA would just stop hogging all our bandwidth, we'd be fine.
You know what? Hell yeah, dude.
Right,
Things to be excited about.
Awkwardly change the subject.
Seriously, though. That's something to get excited about for next year.
Okay. So yeah, I do
if
think
they pull out all of the freaking NSA crap that's like copying everybody's emails and everything else, and they chop that off so that we're not using up all the bandwidth, yeah, I think that we might be able to have faster internet than, say, China.
Welcome back to Coast to Coast.
If you're just listening.
right.
Speaking of, you thought that the Jeff Bezos thing was ridiculous. Just wait till you I don't know if you saw the 60 Minutes piece on NSA.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Well,
Lord.
before we take the Christmas special to Politicalville, we'll I'll say my last piece on Steam machines, and then we're going to go to dishonorable mentions, which should be quite fun. We're going to go around and we'll do our one dishonorable mention, something that either you expected to get exciting.
Gotta stretch first. You're like,
Okay,
just get this one ready. Yeah.
I'll say that Windows Steam machines are what I'm excited for. I'll get that out of the way real quick. Steam OS, I'm not really excited for. I don't think it's going to do what I want it to do. So the Windows-based Steam machine, make it modular, make it easy, and get rid of a lot of those headaches. And I think Steam machine can be a crusher. Because a Windows-based Steam machine could do everything.
Now who's the one that's out in Nowhereville? Like, you're talking about Microsoft basically making their software less closed garden.
Which they are making it more.
Well, they're making it more.
Yeah.
They're very much walling it off.
But of course they are, because most successful technology company out there right now is Apple. And
No, it's
Apple
true.
is
Yeah,
a
kings
closed
of the walled
garden.
garden.
But what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm
Walled garden,
saying.
excuse me.
I'm not saying make it less. In fact, I was saying use Windows Embedded and with a proprietary interface.
But with a swapping thing, that just costs them money.
Costs who money? No, you use
No.
standard devices.
That's your standard. Your hardware people are the ones that are going to be putting that stuff together.
Yeah.
Windows, all they have to do is create a license for it.
Right, and then
And then the
packaged.
programmers are going to have to take advantage of how that works.
That's what they want. They want you to be able to upgrade your current thing so you don't have to buy another license. Yep.
We'll get to a point that we'll save this for a whole other short because there's a lot that could be.
Yep.
There's a ton
Problem
here.
solved.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a ton discussing that.
All right, so let's dive right into the dishonorable mentions. All right, what these are either things that you got excited about for 2013 and it ended up being equivalent to a fart in the face,
Or a log from Chris.
a log, Chris.
or things that you sort of pushed yourself into going to experience or whatever, and it just either way it turns out really bad.
We already know what Ryan's is going to be.
So let's start with Nate. Okay, so dishonorable mention for 2013 for you.
You know what? I'm going to say it's the glut of comic book movies. I think they're starting to reach oversaturation. And I don't know that their quality is diminishing. It's just that I feel like there's too many of them.
How many comic
So
book
Iron
movies
Man
came
3,
out this year?
Iron
Amazing
Man 3 and
Spider-Man,
Thor?
Iron Man 3,
Thor,
Dark World.
Thor.
Iron Man came out
Wolverine.
last year.
Wolverine.
Iron
You
Man,
might be right.
Yeah.
Iron Man 3, Thor,
Wolverine.
Wolverine. Did I miss any? That's 3 this year.
I mean, there's a lot.
There's going to be a lot in
Superman movie this
2015.
Superman.
For
Superman,
sure. Superman, Man of Steel,
okay.
yeah. So there is. It's just getting
That's
to
like
the
4 or
point where
5.
there's like, I don't know. I feel, and they're rebooting them because they weren't. They got to revitalize the franchises and everything.
Spider-Man
It's just-
without Toby.
Next thing you know,
Yes.
they're going to do a Batman Superman reboot.
Maybe they'll do like some sort of
Alec Baldwin is what you said.
World's finest hero.
Eric Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin is Superman.
Oh man. Either way, that's just my dishonorable mention. I just feel like they're getting oversaturated.
I think you're half right. I think that you're right that there is an oversaturation. But that being said, apparently Man of Steel, you guys saw it. You thought
Yep.
you relatively liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, freaking
That's
awesome.
what he said.
Wolverine,
That's
great.
Wolverine
They're still-
was.
They're not
movies.
diminishing in quality. I just feel like I'm
You're getting a little burned out on
yeah,
it.
it's like the end of the '80s, and the hair bands are still trying to play the same kind of music over and over. We need a
Sometimes it's still good.
yeah. We need a revitalization of the industry. I think.
Creativity is down because they keep rebooting
Yeah.
the same damn shit. You're
Yeah.
just like, okay, all right, I'm shoveling this.
I guess I kind of
I
could
think
lump
there
in
might.
the remakes.
It occurred to me when I was watching the Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailer in all its comic book goodness was that the reason they're constantly making more and more Spider-Mans and constantly making more and more X-Men movies
we keep going.
is because they can't lose the contract.
Yeah.
If they go a certain number of years, then Disney gets the rights.
Yeah.
Because Disney bought Marvel, and the rights go back to Marvel
Yeah.
unless
They'll
Sony
find somebody else.
and Fox continue to produce things.
Yeah.
So literally, they have to make it, even if it's like the epic 4-ton log Chris is working on. They've got to make
Spider-Man
a movie.
3.
They've got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that
this was coming, Pete.
I actually think that's the problem. That's the problem.
That they are
That they
forced
have
to keep
to make
making
them.
them.
Yeah, if they would
That
just
sucks.
if they would do
I didn't know that.
if they would do GTA 5, which is stop and make an epic one, we'd be all about it.
Every 4 years.
Right.
Yeah.
You want a really juicy turkey,
almost-
you got to leave it baked.
I almost wonder if maybe
That's the perfect metaphor here. Don't shake your head at me. Okay, Chris,
I was gonna
let's
say-
move on before everybody realizes how bad of a metaphor that was. Chris, what your
my dishonorable dishonorable
Just- he crapped on the poop
Kicked out
deck.
of the army.
It's Battlefield 4.
Battlefield 4. No, is dishonorable mention this year launch titles.
Oh,
This is what Sony's 4th go round, Microsoft's 3rd go round, even Nintendo's launch titles, even though they're last year, sucked, and that's their like 27th go round.
Yeah.
You had Knack, which was just to show off how awesome the PlayStation 4 graphics engine was, so might as well have been made by id. You had Battlefield 4, which is like the buggiest game alive at the moment, with the multiplayer being terrible.
And that wasn't even exclusive for a platform. That was just,
that wasn't. It was just
available.
But a launch title.
Yeah.
Right. You had Dead Rising 3, which I think people were pretty underwhelmed at, and I've seen repeatedly online was the frame rates on the Xbox One suck balls example.
Forza 5 had
Forza
less
5
content than
Forza 5 had less content and has gone through like massive economy changes since it launched.
PlayStation 4's launch titles all got delayed.
Call of Duty Ghost, like the most critically panned Call of Duty.
You know, that's
Up to
funny.
this point.
What you just said about PlayStation
Yeah.
4. All of the PlayStation 4 launch titles that people were excited for
Yeah.
got delayed.
Yeah.
Does that
And
not tell you something?
Yeah.
well,
Is that not the right
No,
move?
It was the right move. It was the right
I was gonna
move.
say-
Does Sony get good marks because they actually said rather than release shit?
Yeah. In my opinion, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't
was going to say
really
that was
thought
the other
about
thing
it.
is the other PlayStation launch title, Killzone. I mean, maybe I don't read enough review sites, but
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything really at all.
It's
other than
beautiful.
it's Killzone.
That's it.
Yeah,
It's
Mr. Not
beautiful.
appearing in this podcast, who is the biggest PlayStation fanboy, and played the game and doesn't really play it anymore.
Yeah.
It's not that
Compelling.
good.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
beautiful, but that's it.
There's two that sort of pulled it off. Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, which that one was already in development for 360, so I think it
Yeah.
I would
was
like,
enough
I
of
would
a-
like to see you look at the Xbox One because I know you beat the 360 one. I'd like to see you compare graphically.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah,
over sometime.
I'll have to do that because.
Okay, and the other one that actually, while we were at Best Buy the other day, and I mentioned this to you, highest rated, like customer rated, launch title right now, not highest volumes or anything like that, highest rated by customers, Rise, Son of Rome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Beat
yeah.
out everything else.
Yeah.
Which is
Wow.
What all the critics said,
critics
it's
are like,
repetitive.
oh, it's repetitive. It's once you figure out the moves, it's the same moves over and
You're
over.
fighting
again.
the same enemies over and over.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
yet the
it's.
I hear it's
Like-
beautiful. Like
Yeah.
the graphics are beautiful.
Yeah,
they
I've
said
heard
it's
it.
not
It looks great.
glitchy and it's not
And it incorporates the Kinect in a way that no other game has, right?
right.
Okay.
It basically does Red Steel the way you wanted Red Steel to work.
See, and I want that game,
It's
but at the
like
same
Red
time, I've heard
Steel.
so much bad things about Rise. I hadn't
Red
even considered
Steel
buying it.
set in 300 minus the bullshit.
Minus. I like the minus.
Yes. Plus fun.
Plus, not bad Wii controls.
Oh yeah, minus controller.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Red Steel. Played
was-
that for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like. Done. I
think
really
I
wanted
played
Red Steel
that
to be
for
good.
about an hour. And
Yeah,
was just
I wanted
like,
it to be
all
good
right.
because I'd heard great things about Red Steel, and I started playing on like these controls.
Oh yeah, you see it at E3 and you're like, oh, this is going to be amazing. I'm going to get to move my sword and all. And no,
Yeah,
not
like,
at all.
These controls don't work right at all.
But it's the problem that the
Yeah.
Wii inherently had was it wasn't really intuitive. What you weren't
was an action.
I played not by choice, but at the behest of the woman in my life,
The woman.
like dance party, whatever,
Dance
87
Central
or
or
whatever. It was.
yeah.
I heard you
Yeah.
squeal like a girl when that game came out.
No. But the thing is that she was dancing and I was playing a game,
Right.
and so I would always beat her in the game. Not in real life. That would be illegal. But she was like, what am I doing? I am doing the dance moves. And I'm like, I know, but I'm playing a game.
Right.
Like,
I
you're
know what
dancing,
the accelerometer's
and I
expecting.
know how to do this
You're
right
tricking
here.
the accelerometer.
Yeah, so
Right.
she thinks she looks good, and I'm like standing there going like this. I'm like, this
Right.
is the stupidest freaking dance game ever. But that's what Red Steel did.
Yeah. It's what every
Yeah.
Wii game devolves into.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
tricking the
It's-
accelerometer.
eventually
It's
you're
like, at first you're like, oh, I'm
Is,
gonna bowl.
is
I'm gonna
lazy
bowl.
guy
Now it's
sitting on the
like-
couch?
Yeah, you get
Strike.
the like we
Strike.
started from here
Strike.
for the best for Wii Sports with the golf,
And then
and
you
go
golf downward?
golf down, and
Yeah.
perfect shot.
Yes.
Maybe Best Buy is just trying to troll people into buying Rise.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, it wasn't even Best Buy reviews.
No,
it was Metacritic or whatever that like allows people to go out there and put their reviews on it.
You haven't downloaded this yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't got it yet. Killer Instinct. Real quick, Killer Instinct was the other one that people aren't happy with the premium or the freemium.
Like that you
buy all
get
the
Jago and then you have to buy every other
the
character.
game itself is free.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now here's my thing though.
Okay.
I don't know if I have much of an issue with that.
Yeah, maybe not.
If you want to play it, you can play it.
Right.
I mean, there's this game that Chris and I have been suckered into playing called Hero Academy.
That it's getting to the point now where you're like, I'm gonna have to buy another faction because
It's
humans
it's
get
like
no.
you by doing the same exact goddamn thing in every single game.
Yes.
All right. So I'll stop.
Wonder who caused that.
I'll give you the next
Dishonorable.
dishonorable mention.
discharge.
My dishonorable mention for 2013 is the movies. Hollywood. There is no great 2013 movie. There were several great 2012 movies. Avengers, Skyfall, Django Unchained, just to
Yes.
name three.
Yep.
Yes.
There has not been a great movie. There have been good movies. There have been okay movies. But there has not been a movie that several years from now you'll be like, yes, I want to watch that again. Maybe The Hobbit, but only as part of like the greater trilogy.
Not by itself.
Not by
Yeah,
itself.
Right.
I did not see Gravity, so I feel a little bit bad putting it in the good category.
I
But
wouldn't say it was
I don't think
great.
it's one of those you could.
Yeah.
go
I think
back
it was
and
good.
Really
That's what I'm saying. I think
rewatch.
there's been several good movies, and I think there's been a ton of okay movies.
Yeah.
And I think this year has not been a stand-up year for movies.
So coming off of 2012, you were excited for what are we getting ourselves into with 2013 with
Just
movies,
hasn't-
and
has
it just sort of
not-
it sort of rose to this sort of level, and not where it
Right.
could have gone.
Well, Avengers was kind of the peak of the comic book.
Yeah, we've
but
come
we-
down.
we
since
might-
then.
We've come down.
Yeah.
But of course you're going to come down after you pull the Avengers off.
That was the
Yeah.
best. That's why I think I feel like it's oversaturated.
Skyfall is arguably one of the best James Bond movies.
Yes.
So
It was
you're gonna
awesome.
come.
Yeah,
You're
it's
gonna
my- it's
come
my
down.
favorite.
You can't come up with another spy
So
movie. And then Django. Quentin Tarantino, total fanboy, love him over here. There's nothing else like him. When he doesn't release a movie, there's a gaping hole in that year's filmography.
Yeah.
Yeah, gaping out.
So, but the point being is that there has not been.
Because everything's going to TV.
Yeah.
Because the TV's growing and
That could be
that's what I was
I
saying.
was trying to come up with a way of incorporating this into a future podcast. But movies, I don't really care too much about a large ensemble cast character development. With a movie trying to take a large ensemble cast and developing the characters, it makes it either impossibly slow, Hobbit. Or it fails miserably. So a movie needs to be almost like that small little, like Skyfall. You've got Bond, M, and a great villain.
Yeah.
And then Django was basically Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, and then Leonardo DiCaprio. And
You just developed those three.
But then Sam Jackson is an amazing like cameo,
He
like
is
almost
freaking
side
great.
role in that.
Yeah.
Avengers. Now Avengers is how you do that large cast.
But you develop them in
You
another
You develop them in other ways. You don't need to because each one of them is kind of playing the person that they are. Billionaire, playboy, philanthropist,
Yeah.
in case of Iron Man, And then you throw them in and have big explosions, blockbuster, and it's amazing. And there is no character
Also because of
development.
Joss Whedon.
Well, I hate to say it, but yeah.
I think he
when he
helped.
doesn't come out with a movie, there's something missing too.
Yeah.
I just don't think that there's been that incredible year for movies.
Do you think
Yeah, I'll
it's
certainly
because
give that to you.
Joss Whedon and all those guys, though, maybe they take their time to put out something.
Yeah.
And so
2013 was an off season.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's like one of those off
2015
years
is supposed to be the big year. That's
Yeah.
that's
Star
episode
Wars.
7 and all
Yeah.
of those movies get sequels, Avengers 2 and all of that.
Well,
So
that's
we'll see how
true.
that-
I mean, but Star Trek Into Darkness was at the beginning of the year, and that was a little bit of a misfire on J.J. Abrams' part.
Yeah, it's
That's because he's ready to go to Star Wars.
I think so.
I think he just wanted to get out.
I don't
and-
know. Was it watchable? Certainly, but again,
Sure.
I put it into that okay to good category, not even in the good category.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that it kind of sounds like that might have been an experiment to take what you had changed about the universe and redo the second movie in the new universe and see how it goes. And
It wasn't
second movie had
as
already been
epic
done.
as the original Wrath of Khan, but I don't know. I still thought it was good. Anyway, though, we do need to move along.
Yep.
We're at
Okay.
hour and 20 or whatever now for this.
falling
Josh,
asleep.
right? you've already unsubscribed. Josh, dishonorable mention.
Ben Affleck is Batman.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, you were
that's
looking
a
forward
good
to who
one.
the next Batman was going to be.
Yeah.
And then
I like. Look, I'll put it this way: blown away by Heath Ledger. Was not a fan at all when they'd said Heath Ledger going to be the Joker. I was like, you know what?
What the hell? Yeah.
I did not understand where they were coming from with that angle, and I'm just like, all right, fine, whatever. And I just kind of made my peace with it, and then I was impressed.
Well, I mean, his background was,
Don't know if it's
10
gonna
Things I
work.
Hate About You.
I don't
10
know if
Things
it's
I Hate
going to
About
work
You,
with
Brokeback
with-
Mountain,
with-
Yeah.
Knight's Tale.
Yeah, like all these chick movies that
He's got like they keep talking about him having acting chops, and I'm like, acting chops.
Ben
what?
Affleck?
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
What?
yeah. Everybody's
Like
like,
where?
well, he's got the chops to do. I was like, are you kidding me?
Like
Have you
what?
seen Geely or whatever the fuck?
And he does. That's what we said this at the time. He does great in his own material.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I mean though. Like when he's directing. Yes.
When I write it, I do great in my own material. Too, I mean, come on.
you set yourself up for a character that's
Exactly.
going to be
Do something
Yeah.
you can do because you can imagine, you can put yourself into it.
Right.
And it's not just Ben Affleck. They're miscasting and screwing up that whole movie.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman.
well, here's what they're trying to
Yeah.
do. They're trying to
I
get to a
know.
point where they get the Avengers, but they're doing it
They're trying to do
prematurely.
Avengers
They're doing it in
backwards.
reverse.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's gonna be terrible. Oh, stop, DC. Seriously, control it.
DC, please.
Control. You must control it.
Whoa.
Wow.
Are we
We're going to have to
ordering?
blur that again.
I know.
Yes.
Jeez.
Okay, so yeah, that certainly does.
So,
Because
yeah, I know.
the other thing about that is that they've miscast Batman before.
Yes.
Val Kilmer
Yeah,
George Clooney.
Clooney is the big one.
Honestly, I don't know if Clooney would have been a bad Batman. It was just the bad writing.
I actually,
that movie was kinda
I
terrible,
don't think
right?
either Val Kilmer or George Clooney were bad. I think the movies
Schumacher
were
was
bad.
terrible.
Schumacher
I don't
was
really
bad.
blame
History's
those
greatest
two.
villain.
Yo, Schumacher.
It's not the Joker. It's Schumacher.
He's the Batman's greatest villain.
Yes.
In the shadows, he
yes.
works.
That
So-
but there was
with
a
neon
conscious,
lights.
there was a conscious effort to make those movies comical,
Yeah.
in the comic way, not just the funny way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it didn't work.
Doesn't
Much
translate.
neon.
No.
All right.
So
So
that's
We all
that's
know
mine.
the reason though this won't work. It's because DC sucks. I always like
Batman is like the only good.
It's
No,
basically
like
like
you,
it's
you
basically
are
like
hands down. Like they have blundered every single opportunity
Yes.
they had to make good like movies, and take their iconic characters that are pretty iconic, pretty awesome, and they're like, well, this is great. We'll just cover it in shit.
hang on.
sculpture.
Hang on. 2015. Have you heard this project yet? This is going to be epic. This sort of lends to your 2015.
Okay.
DC Aquaman.
Oh my.
no.
Seriously?
No, I'm
Okay,
totally
thank
trolling.
God. I love that with Adrian Grenier and does no one watch
No.
Entourage?
Entourage?
No.
Where the whole
No.
plot of the whole
Yeah,
plot of
he
the show
plays
was
Aquaman.
he was going to be Aquaman on whatever movie they were making.
With Mandy Moore?
They're making Ant-Man. Did you hear about that?
Yes. G-Root.
With Groot. Yep, Vin Diesel is Groot.
Yep.
So I suppose this leads us to my dishonorable mention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll start this off by saying I really liked.
You yes.
Go ahead, say Riddick. Go ahead.
I really liked Chronicles of Riddick. I really liked Pitch Black.
Yeah.
And I like how they were totally different movies. Like Pitch Black was sort of action and not very much story, but it was good action.
Sci-fi horror.
Yeah.
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 And then it went to Chronicles of Riddick, which was more drama, like sci-fi drama.
Yeah.
You know.
World building and
But they
Yep.
did it good, I think.
I love
you know?
that movie.
And they continued the
I liked Pitch
didn't-
Black a lot and wasn't
I liked
really as
Pitch
big a
Black.
fan of Chronicles.
Yeah, it was not.
I
I
like
like
both.
them both.
It's
Yeah.
interesting.
So when I heard that Riddick was coming back out, I was like, yes, let's go see this. So we did. We went and saw it. And
I think it was about that barrel roll that got you.
no,
That's
it
when
was,
you were done.
It was him
you were
playing with his dog. It was
Settle that. Cool off.
done. No, just go ahead and let him tear it. Just let him tear it.
it was okay. Him playing with the dog. It was the half the movie with figuring out how to get through the canyon.
Well, they had to do that because of budget, though.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it was like it was apparent that it was bad. Versus Pitch Black didn't have that big a budget, and it was good. You know, and in this one, like the aliens were cool that were in it. I think those were well designed.
Meh.
Even that, meh.
Yeah.
Well, that was the only redeeming
It was,
grace
it
for
was
me.
just,
So
they was just trying to rebuild off of Pitch Black.
Black, yeah, that's what I thought too.
Here's the long story short on Riddick. If you judge it against the standard of a good movie,
You
it's
will
not
be
a good
upset.
movie.
No,
Yes.
no.
if you use a proper yardstick, it sucks.
Sucks.
Now that being said, if you judge Bloodsport, the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, against a good movie,
It
that movie's
sucks.
not very good.
Yeah.
But if you judge it as a guy action kind of buddy flick, if you put it in the context of what it is,
You know
Just
where
accept that it's
Riddick.
going to be ridiculous.
it's fun.
You know where Riddick
Like Fast and the
would've been
Furious. Not really good. Dude, this is not, Oscar bait here. This is just
you
fun
have to,
action
you have to
movies.
judge it in its proper context. I think it's definitely a certain audience. Now that being said, it's still the worst of the three Riddick movies.
It is.
By a good margin. Okay,
I don't know. I didn't really care for the second one.
man.
Maybe
I don't
you
know.
need to watch it again because it is awesome. It really is.
All right, I'll
And
watch
You
it.
just
Riddick
like the
really
Judi
is
Dench.
terrible.
You just like the Judi Dench.
Honestly, maybe you need to play Mass Effect and then watch Chronicles of Riddick. Let's put things in their proper order. If I find out you watch Chronicles of Riddick before Mass Effect, we will.
Christmas kick in the balls?
Oh.
Rochambeau, I go first.
Yeah. So the Riddick for me was freaking terrible.
Even Katie Sackhoff side boob plus nibble
Side
Yes.
couldn't save Riddick.
No, the dialogue was the worst it's
Oh,
ever been.
it was bad.
Let's be honest. It really was when he did the 360.
The barrel roll.
The barrel
was
roll.
ridiculous.
You heard Pepe come in and pop in there, do a barrel roll,
You see him looking at it, and you see.
and
him
you're like, no.
No, I said it in the theater because you were sitting next
You're
to me, and
like,
I was
"Don't
like,
you-
"Come on,
don't you fucking
come
do
on,
it."
no!" And then he's like, I was like, or he like, there's like the valley or whatever that he like goes over the thing and like for no reason because their lives are on the line. For no reason, he goes back and does like a dirt bike stunt, off of the back just to see. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of aliens down there. Sweet. You know what I mean? He does like the Superman off the back of it.
Yeah.
I was like, come on. You know what works just as well? Just looking
over the shoulder
Yes.
and staying on the bike for
Yes.
our audio listeners.
They made some mistakes with it.
We were so wrong.
What my hope is,
Yeah.
they made that movie to basically try to reset. Apparently, they must not have liked all the lore they built with Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah.
Whatever. But
Which they sort of wrapped up and went real quick.
Yes.
Real quick in the
Depressingly.
beginning.
So the tragically underused Carl Urban in that movie.
Oh man.
Yes. Major Carl Urban broder.
He's pretty awesome.
They didn't include Idris Elba either. So. All right. So anyway, we do.
Can't be with the one.
Staughton's gonna need
Love
a
the
minute.
one you with.
Oh, Prometheus reference.
Yes.
Right.
Just for you.
All right. So I think that just about does it for our Christmas episode of the podcast here. Thanks for joining us and thanks for watching. Do go and like us on YouTube. Subscribe to us there as well. If you want to follow us on Twitter, we are there at FAPcast, and we're also over on the Facebooks, the Book of Faces.
The books
Books
of faces.
I think I've got something to tell you guys. I've been keeping this a secret for a while now. Apparently, our initials FAP, it's FAP.
What?
So, what does that mean?
It's the sound the internet makes when you're looking on the GoRam internet.
I didn't understand.
Oh wait,
The
What?
FAP sound.
No.
like fap.
What is
So wait, just by coincidence?
no, wait a minute. Like when your tire blows on the highway and
That's a flat tire.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like
It's about the same sound, except it's not your tire blowing. It's something else
Blowing.
getting ready to blow. It's a.
I think I get it.
What's a?
Is that a DC Comics joke?
My God.
I didn't understand.
It's all right. It's masturbation. I said it.
Brom.
So just by total coincidence,
Yeah,
we are FAPcast?
We're FAPcast.
Why didn't anybody tell me?
So
Jeez.
wrong.
I guess we're gonna have to change our name to Fairly Decent Podcast.
Wait.
Fadcast?
I'm looking at you, you fucking little high school kids, and your goddamn.
All right. So seriously, over on Facebook.com/FairlyAwesomePodcast, and apparently on Twitter. at
Fapcast.
FAPcast. Who knew?
So now you know.
So yeah,
Sorry.
certainly leave comments down below if you had some other notable
It's gonna be
stuff
so
from,
much easier now that we don't have to spell it out.
from 2013. If you had some other exciting moments, be sure to let us know. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
Nobody says
filthy
Happy
animals.
Holidays.
What about
says
New
happy.
Year's?
It's not New Year's in Korea.
Oh my god.
So this is the part where we had to blacken.
Does a seat spin it down?
I think. Left probably goes Lucy and right tidy.
It looks like it's going down.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it does. look like that.
That's gonna be the outtake.
Shit.
That was recorded.
Was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The video is recording. Let me get it. Merry
It really
Christmas.
has become Fapcast.
It has. It's no longer FAPcast, guys.
I think this is as low as this is going to go.
We'll sit down.
I think you better.
You didn't have to go down very far.
I don't need you to go down like 1/8 of an inch, Ryan.
Yeah,
Jesus.
dude, come on.
Yeah, you could have
130.
slouched.
30 seconds. You could have just not set up straight and we'd have been fine. Jerk.
I hope you're like under the table is so low. I don't think you went down at all.
No, I don't think it went down at all.
No, it'll be
Let me
okay.
just...
It's like I
Not about the
have no
shit-stained
fucking
balls.
clue how that chair goes down.
I have no idea.
Have you ever lowered it?
No.